Hey guys, in this video I'll show you a quick tip to add a touch of realism to your backgrounds for your comics, paintings, sketches and so on. This is the method I use when creating my comics because I found it to be the best compromise between ease of use, quickness of execution and the final result. So let's get started. We're going to use a technique called atmospheric perspective, which involves a decrease in contrast on the background compared to the foreground and also fewer visible details in the background. We'll achieve this effect quickly with the use of one adjustment layer. If the app you use doesn't support adjustment layers, like Procreate for example, then you can just merge all the layers into one and apply the same corrections as adjustments. The only difference will be that you can't later go back and change these settings. Right now I'm using Photoshop, but you can use this technique on any program where you can adjust the levels on your image. So first, to achieve this, you'll need to have everything in the foreground separated from the background. What I usually do is group my foreground layers, and the same for the background layers. We'll place the correction layers under the foreground group and above the background group, to only affect the background. Now let's create a levels adjustment layer and use it to decrease the value range of our background. We don't want to go from pure black to pure white, so we'll bring the slider from the black output closer to the middle and lift these shadows up. As for the white, I do it but just a little, only enough to cut out what would be specular highlights in pure white and make the foreground stand out a bit more. But this also depends on the value range in your painting before. If you had big surfaces of white that are part of your style, maybe you don't want to cut these out. You can also play with the middle slider to lighten up the background if you want, and maybe experiment with it. And that's it, a very simple way to add separation between your background and foreground. Of course, you could do all of this during the painting process and just not use pure blacks when painting the background, but I find it easier to not change my tools, paint everything with a full value range, and later come back in to drop an adjustment layer above the background. I hope this was useful to you in any way. You can go further by adding other adjustment layers to add, for example, a specific color to your background atmosphere, but this is enough for me. So bye for now guys, and happy painting!